Hello and welcome to the podcast. Before I start today's review, I would like to crave your indulgence. I'm recovering from a sore throat and I have the sniffles, just in case you hear sniffling and hacking and stuff like that. Well, anyway, so today I'm going to be reviewing two movies because the piece that I'm looking at is a two-part thing, and that is Monica Part One and Part Two, or as we say in this part of the world, Monica. So I'm reviewing Monica Part 1 and Part 2. And just like with the other movies that I've reviewed, I'd like to give you guys a spoiler alert. Yes, there are going to be spoilers in the movie. So if you don't want, sorry, spoilers in my review. So if you don't want any spoilers, if you don't want to know what happened in the movie, then please do not keep listening. Go and listen, go and watch the movie first on YouTube because both part 1 and part 2 are available on YouTube. Most of the movies I'm going to review are available on YouTube. So go watch the movie, then come back, and then you can go through the review, and then let's see if our opinions match up. But if you don't mind spoilers, if you don't mind knowing what happened ahead in the movie, then sure, no problem. Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching. Now, the reason why I watched Monica Part 1 and Part 2 obviously was because I saw Uche Montana receive an award for the movie at the recently concluded AMVCA. Yeah, AMVCA. That's the African Movie and something awards, African awards anyway. Excuse me. So it's something that is put together by MultiChoice. It used to be put together by MultiChoice, the people who own DSTV. But I think recently DSTV got MultiChoice got acquired by is it Canal Plus? Yeah, I think by Canal Plus or something. So yeah, it was also a first time for me anyway, seeing Canal Plus executives in Lagos on the runway and then stuff like that. But it's good that the tradition is still going to continue for the AMVCA, the African Movie Choice Awards or something like that. But my own personal opinion, Sha, they call this thing the AMVCA, the African Movie Something Something Award. But then we only talk about Nigerian movies. So, in my own opinion, I'm thinking if we call this thing the African Movie Awards, but at the end of the day, now only Nigerian movie where we they watch. Like, what's the point? Might as well come out and call it the Nigerian Movie Awards. But my wife says that that's not going to be in good taste because there are a few Kenyan films, one or two Ghanaian films, things like that. But for now, in my own opinion anyway, it looks to me like the AMVCA, the African Movie Awards, essentially is just like the Niger Movie Awards, basically. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so now straight to the movie, Monica Part 1 and Part 2. So I saw that Uche Montana received an award. I can't, to be honest, I don't even know her real name. I just know everybody calls her Uche Montana. And I've seen online people refer to her as Uche Montana. So I'm just going to continue, even though I don't know her real name. So when I saw it was her, I said, okay, I have to watch this movie. And I'll explain why. Now, for most people, they'll say it was a story about a selfless daughter. And this is where I take exception. Because, okay, how will I put it? Okay, so for those of you who've been listening to the podcast since I started, right? Excuse me. You will remember that what I do for a living is I'm a sales coach and I'm a business development consultant. So when I work with my clients, because this thing about those of us who are in sales, who make a living by selling, we're always interacting with other people. And so we are constantly being put in positions where we are tested, where people want to try us, they'll talk to us anyhow. You understand? So we always are in the position where, we end up being too passive. And then people just go, they play us anyhow. They just use our head, they play. Or where we're in an assertive position and we're able to take control of personal dynamics well, or sometimes we end up being aggressive and we rub people off the wrong way. So when I'm talking to my clients, that is sort of the mindset or the worldview that I like to put people through, my clients through. Now, when we're going through life, we're either being passive, we're being assertive, or we're being aggressive. And it's also something I tell my children. And regardless of whatever you do, it's also something that you need to adopt as well. Just know that when you're going through life, you can be going through life in a passive mode, in an assertive mode, or in an aggressive mode. So when people say that Monica, part one and part two, is about a selfless daughter, I kind of disagree because Monica was kind of functioning on a passive note throughout the whole movie. Now, passiveness or passivity just means life is happening to you. You feel as if like everybody else is important, other things are important, but you don't think you're that important, and so because of that, you're reacting to life. So now them they do you, as in you're just there, and then things are happening to you. And so I tell my clients, we can't be in a passive mode, and unfortunately, at some point, Monica, she was in a passive mode, like her family was important. So mommy is important, daddy is important. I will help mommy, I will help daddy. Chica is important. That's her younger sister. I must help Chica. Baba is important. Sorry, Bobo. Bobo is important. That was her younger brother. Chica and Bobo are twins. So even when Bobo eventually got married to this useless girl, Sharon, Sharon now left a child for them in the house. So excuse me, Monica. That's uh, what's her name now? Uche Montana's character was being passive. She was allowing life to happen to her. So passivity, at least in sales or in business circles, passivity is when you think the other person is important and you don't really rate yourself. And so because of that, the other person just gets to walk over you and just do you anyhow. So we'll say a selfless daughter. Abi, she was a passive person. Now, being assertive, on the other hand, is a much more balanced view where you know that, okay, these people are important, but you also know that, look, myself, I'm also important. So that's a much more balanced worldview and allows you to engage with people on equal terms. Like, okay, Oga, no problem, I understand where you're coming from. But then at a certain point, you say, look, Oga, relax. Like myself, I be master's holder and, I'm worthy of some respect. So, like, calm down. Okay, you won't talk to me like that. So that's like assertive behavior. Like, Oga, madam, I understand you're not happy about this or no whatnot, but relax. You're going too far. Because you have a right, and because we did you like this doesn't mean you will now trample on me. So that's more like an assertive thing. You're important. I am also important. Now, Monica learns to do that eventually towards the end of the movie, but still, she was kind of passive. Now, aggressive or aggression, that is those people who think I am important and they don't give a hell about who you are. Monica never crossed into that. But unfortunately, Monica, her family was kind of on the aggressive side, I won't lie. So her mama really took advantage of Monica. Die. See, this is also one reason why I tell people that some people think aggression is about volume. That if person they shout anyhow, if person they rake, you now say that person is aggressive. No, aggression is not about the volume. People can be quiet and aggressive. I know because I've been accused of that, and I'm not the kind of person who will shout. Although sometimes, the thing will get to my brain, and I'll think like, "What the hell is this?" So, Mama used to shout on top Monica's head, but it wasn't like every day. It was a very quiet, everyday, steady, oppressive kind of aggressiveness. Like, I am your mother. I need you. So I will call upon you. And you will do as I say. So it was not aggressive as per she they shout, she they shout, she they shout, she they rake. No. See, aggressive is when somebody says, I mean something, and as far as the other person is concerned, like all of una don't mean anything. So that's the aggressive person. Whether the person get volume or the person no get volume. And Monica's mom, Kai, was aggressive. Really aggressive. In fact, the star of the movie, in my own opinion, is the woman who played Monica's mom. See, because you watch that film, you will hate that woman. I saw an interview on her on YouTube, and I had to catch myself like, oh no, she's not a wicked person. She actually was playing a wicked person. So Monica's mom was aggressive. Die. Then, sorry, excuse me. Like I said, I'm recovering from a cold. Then also Chica, her sister. Okay, Chica was Chica aggressive? Well, Chica was self-centered between fine girl, smooth skin, all of that. Then her brother, Bobo, also, you know. But sure, that's the spectrum. Was Monica really a selfless daughter? I mean, she was a passive individual. And remember, I'm looking at it from the yardstick of there's passive behavior, there's assertive behavior, and there's aggressive behavior. But honestly, this is what me I think. It's the story of Monica is fiction, but like they say, based on a real life story. Kind of based on a real life story because for Nigerian families, we're used to this dynamic. This thing happens in every single Nigerian family. No, when I say every single Nigerian family, I don't mean every single nuclear Nigerian family. Like in my own nuclear family, that's my momsy, my popsy, and then me and my siblings. None of this Monica thing happened. But if you take a step up and look towards the larger family, you look at grandpa, grandma, uncles, aunties. So definitely some of these things plays out, and we see it in every single Nigerian family. On a macro perspective, when you look at the extended family, honestly, what happened to Monica was a shame. It's a shame and it's a pity because it actually happens in every Nigerian family. Actually, what's going on there is child abuse. So Monica was not being selfless. She was not in a position to be selfless. They abuse her from small, not sexual abuse. So maybe she had a normal childhood, but by the time her twin siblings come on the stage, by the time Chika and Bobo are born, they know they groom them as Ada. I think that's what the mom kept saying. Ada, yes, first daughter, because it was an Igbo family. So they don't they groom them as Ada, and that's a form of child abuse. And there was plenty of conditioning going on. So what Mama was doing to Monica, that was child abuse. That was conditioning. Every day, you are Ada, you are my daughter. I need you. You will not leave me to suffer alone. You will not let me and your family suffer. I will call on you. You will respond. I need you here. That kind of thing was child abuse and was conditioning going on. But then again, remember, I'm a sales coach and a business development consultant. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, psycho, whatever, whatever. So please talk to a psycho, something person for the appropriate terms. But it's unfortunate what Monica went through. Then there are some people who say Monica sacrificed her education. And I disagree with that. When you sacrifice something, you willingly lay it down. Like sometimes I joke, my wife, I say, oh, I sacrificed my life for you. What I'm trying to say is I am laying my life down. If they enforce you, no be sacrifice. So, for those of you who say Monica sacrificed her education. Nah, she didn't sacrifice her education. She was robbed. She was robbed of her education. So before she did go school, then once Bobo and Chika are born, they cancel her education so that the family can focus on Bobo and Chika. Now robbery be that. She was entitled to an education and she was robbed. Some people say that Monica sacrificed her romantic happiness because the guy where she's supposed to marry, Pascal, Momsy, do one kind, and Sha, they carry Pascal go give the younger sister, Chika. That is not sacrifice. Remember, sacrifice is I lay it down. If you collect them from me by force, no be sacrifice, be that now. Momsy manipulate the situation, man. Severe manipulation. In fact, that was the first thing that shocked me in the whole thing. The first shocker. Because my wife likes to go and research and read movies up ahead of time. Me, I don't believe in that. I just go ahead and watch it. When I saw that thing, I said, eh? I shock. But that's not sacrifice. Excuse me. So if you're one of those people in this situation and you think you've been sacrificing your education and all not for your family, if you're in a Monica kind of situation, I'm sorry. Whether you're a man or a woman. In fact, there's one of my cousins who grow up this way. It's not really my cousin, sha, but where I come from, we think about family in different terms. So if you're related to my uncle's father's grandmother's aunties, uncles, nieces, nephew, I can say, oh, now my cousin be that. So in a sense, one of my cousins, went through this whole thing. But then again, like I said, not really my cousin. People who pass through this been robbed. It's not sacrifice. It's robbery. Your parents owed you an education. Maybe they couldn't hack it, but shiny which way, they robbed you. Now, eventually, Monica is going to learn how to prioritize her dream because her popsy, before popsy died, popsy told her that, look, live your dream, live your own life. And it was good that popsy said that because that popsy, I won't lie, the guy has his own feelings. Seriously. Seriously. The people who watch the movie and are angry at the popsy, I understand perfectly well. I understand perfectly well because the momsy is wicked, no doubt. But when you get popsy and your father doesn't have a spine, like wahala. When your popsy they take charge, they lead. Wahala. So I'm glad that eventually he told her, live your dream. And Monica learns to find success. She learns to find love in the fashion industry and all of that. So eventually she prioritized her dream. So that part was good. There's some people who say that Monica eventually achieved personal healing. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Was she really healed? Because by the time the movie ends, it looks as if Monica still she still get resentment, plenty. And see, things we can't blame her. Because as far as we know, Monica was under the family's chokehold from when she was born until she was about 36. I'll be 37. I think it's when she was 37 she said, you know what, I don't tire. Then she now got out. So 37 years, I can understand. But it looks to me like she still carries more resentment. She see they carry out for mind. So the movie ends with Monica inviting, because Popsy dies eventually, inviting Mama and Chika and Bobo to her wedding. But I don't think inviting them for the wedding means that she has forgiven them or she has achieved personal healing. That's just my own point of view. Anyway, when you watch the movie, you let me know. One thing I like about the movie is it's a critique of this whole idea of, you're the oldest, so therefore you're going to be a sacrificial figure. So I like that we're throwing some spotlight on that because it's been a critical part of African culture for a very long time, and the idea behind it. Okay, let me say Nigerian culture. Let me not say African. I don't know how South Africans do it or Kenyans do it, or maybe people in it. I don't know how you guys do it in your part of the world. But over here, traditionally, the idea was each one would help one. So the person where they front, go raise you small. Then by the time you don't stand, you say if you go raise the next person small. So as everybody they raise like that, we go make progress. So like if the firstborn, if you try, you now raise two people, and those two people raise two other people, those two other people raise two other people, like that. Now so the family go they progress. You get. So yes, it's a key. Well, let me not say it is. I will say it used to be. Like my popsy's time, grandparents, it used to be a part of culture in this part of the world that each one you raise one. So now you there front, oh yeah, raise the next person. Okay, you don't stand, Abby. You said you go raise the next person. So I like that they're showing the spotlight on that culture. But I think the movie gets the wrong, how I put it now, the wrong take. It's not as if the oldest person, each one pull one, the oldest person as sacrificial figure. It's not as if it's a bad thing. Because like within my own family now, for instance, like my uncle, Momsy's older brother, Uncle Cletus, was kind of like the same thing. So I think Uncle Cletus worked for a while, and when my grandfather, that's my maternal grandfather, was alive, he used to collect levy from everybody. Like where those when I where don't they work, where submit. How many shillings you go collect? I think was it shillings in those days? And I can't remember. But they were all born before Nigeria had naira and all of that. So you go submit your shillings, submit your pound sterling or whatever currency Nigeria used to use at the time before we had the naira. So Uncle Cletus, Uncle Raphael, the rest of them, they work. You send money back home. Grandpa go use them, train the other people. And honestly, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And I really think that for some families, like looking at my own family, I think that's one of the things that help, my family as a whole, that's on mom's side and pop's side, I think as a whole, to achieve a certain measure of stability because of this whole thing. Okay, you finish school, you don't they work, no problem. Even if it's one shilling, you go to send them back. Or even if it's one pound sterling or whatever they used to use back in those days, you go to send them. That's how you train other people. Therefore, those who now live abroad, well, back then it was kind of different because I think the pound and the naira at some point were at parity, so it didn't make a difference. But eventually, as things started changing, okay, so you go abroad, you're earning in dollars or pounds or whatever, even if you send home $100, by the time that thing reach Nigeria, you convert it. Some more is a big something. So this whole thing as the oldest person as a sacrificial figure, or each one train one, it has been something that has been responsible for moving families out of poverty. So it's not as if it's a bad thing. The failure, this is the problem. The failure is in carrying it out. Honestly, I don't know what happened, but in carrying it out, we've not been able to breed out entitlement or opportunistic behavior in the younger ones. That's just the problem. Like one of my friends was raking to me one day because one of his the guy, in there okay, like he has his own house, nothing fantastic, but he has his own house, he has more BQ. So because of that, now each one you train one. So some people from Villa are now staying with him. So some people in the BQ, so they know they pay rent. So they know they pay rent, but the thing is, they also don't want to work. So that thing don't they cause small tension. So that's how this my guy now called them. He begin the rake. Now look, people are already staying here rent free. You are not doing any single work. I leave and then you guys take my cars. And then okay, you haven't bashed the car, but it's not as if people are putting fuel in these things. Like you guys need to go do something. So that's how as the guy went to work one day now. One of the boys sent me a message. And basically the message was like the disrespect don't do too much, blah 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 blah. Okay, no problem. You don't want me to stay here. Settle me so I can go. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Even me when I heard as I laugh, I say what? The guy said, "Oh yeah, settle me, make I go." That was his own attitude. So the entitlement. The guy's attitude was like, you don't they disrespect me too much. No problem. I'll go back to the village or settle me. The guy didn't even want to go and hustle his own transport. He didn't go and hustle his own transport to go back to the village. He said, settle me. Let me go back home. So the culture, I don't think is bad. The problem is some of the younger ones are now becoming entitled. So Papa was entitled. That Sister Chica, Sister Monica, I beg, I get problem, want it, I beg, raise me 500k, raise me 600k, raise me 100k. All these raise me, raise me, raise me. Now the problem be that Bobo is entitled. Mama was entitled. Not my own mama as in Monica mama for the movie. Monica part 1 and 2, mama was entitled. So now the cocoa be that, now the problem be that. The problem is not sacrificial figure. The problem is somehow the younger ones don't this spirit of entitlement. I've seen my father go through it too. My father had to cut off one of my uncles like that. Popsy they pay school fees, in they pay school fees, in they pay school fees. Later on, he discovered that he discovered that the guy know the go school self. The guy rented apartments in town. And so Popsy had to now cut him off. So the problem is not that sacrificial figure like my Popsy. At the same school fees, at the same school fees, at the same school fees. The problem is, accountability, entitlement. So the guy they receive school fees. Meanwhile, they help himself. So as much as Monica 1 and 2 and other movies like that are really, really important on looking at this whole thing of a sacrificial figure, please let's keep in mind though that this sacrificial figure thing, like it has helped. It has helped elevate families. The problem is we need to find a way to just make sure that the younger ones are not entitled or they don't become parasites. So excuse me. Excuse me. Remember I said I have a cold. No vex. So one thing I love about the movie is the big twist because part one ends on the note of Monica going to Canada. And honestly, by that time I was thinking, finally to God be the glory. Like Monica, she don't try, she don't try, she don't try, she don't suffer. But anyway, yeah, I'll leave you to watch. I won't say anything about this. I'll leave you to watch the movie yourself. Between part one and part two, the twist. No, no. When I saw the twist, I was like, nah, correct, correct, correct. As in, I don't know who wrote it. Uche Montana. If you're the one that wrote it, well done. If you're not the one that wrote it, whoever wrote it, well done. That was a good twist. That was a very good twist. So let me just keep it. Let me just stop there. Go and watch it. You'll be impressed with the twist. Trust me, you will. So if you want to watch this movie, it's on Uche Montana TV. Excuse me, Uche Montana TV. That's the YouTube handle. So just go to YouTube, type in Uche Montana TV. You see the handle, and then subscribe. Subscribe, man. Let's support our people. Not just Omoni or Bully. Other people who are doing good things like this on YouTube. Now, I'm assuming that this movie was made in 2026. That's my assumption because it was up for the AMVCA 2026 awards. Okay, so the movie should have been 2025, 2026. So Uche Montana TV on YouTube. And I think it was a really compelling performance by Uche Montana. I'm impressed. Now, the reason why I wanted to watch it is because every single movie that I've seen Uche Montana, Uche, she's always a seductress, slay queen, siren, nymphomaniac, soft life, like all those kinds of characters. And I was worried. That, look, this babe, Uche, like, they typecast yourself. Serious typecasting. Anything that involves runs and man, then they will now put you in that film. And I didn't think it was right. I think Nigerian actors, like, let's be careful. This typecasting. Now, wow. Like on Africa Magic on DSTV, there's this particular woman. I've noticed any single mother, every single movie that she acts, she's always a mother in the village. So I was complaining to my mom, and my mom laughed. My mom said, "How for do now? That if that's what they call her for, that's what they call her for." So that was my concern, that Uche Montana was seriously being typecast, her former roles. So when I now saw Monica 1 and 2, I saw Uche Montana, no makeup, no BBL, no big yash, no nothing. I said, Uche Montana in this kind of film. I said, no, I must watch it. Immediately I checked YouTube, and then it was there. Download it straight 1 and 2, and then watch it. Oh, by the way, if you download the movies download it using YouTube download. If you watch it, you won't see one single advertisement. Some of you don't like watching movies on YouTube, understandably, because the advertisements are like they're plenty. If you want to stream it, it's like every 5 minutes, advert. That thing drives me crazy. But if you have your tablet with you, or for those of you who watch on your phone, just download it using the YouTube app. I don't know if you can do that on TV. But once you download, you can watch it straight. 2 hours. No advertisement at all. So I think the movie had a compelling performance. Uche Montana, she showed range, and she gave her character depth, and I was impressed. Now I know for sure that Uche Montana can act. It's not just because of skin and fine face or big ash. She can act. Sorry for my language, by the way. Another person who I think gave a compelling performance was her mom. I haven't confirmed, but her mom in the movie, I think, is Blessing Onwukwe, I think, who played the wicked mother. I haven't confirmed the name. But there's one thing I saw in the movie, though, that got me thinking. Because at one point, when Monica finally found the bass in her voice and was beginning to talk back, the mom says that it was like what? Like, what are you talking? Like, are you the first Ada? Like, am I not Ada as well? That there's no suffer where you don't suffer, way past my own. And the thing got me thinking. Is it that this woman is wicked? Abi, the woman grew up in a similar circumstance. That they use this whole thing of Ada, this whole thing of first daughter, as they use this thing of first daughter to just break her head essentially. And so that is all the mom knows. And so the mom is like a victim who has now become a perpetrator. It just got me thinking. It's not a thing that was explored in the movie, but I'm thinking perhaps in cases where it happened in real life is that kind of thing. Like during my own time, I mean the person's attitude, like, oh, during my own time, because I'm the first daughter, now me carry the whole family. So therefore, you're the first daughter. What are you talking about? Will you shut up and carry the whole family? But the mom, she played it well. She played it well. Very wicked character. Played it well. The father figure in the movie, in my own opinion, was a total failure. And for every single man who is watching Monica part 1 or 2, for every single man, I'm begging you, the father figure is a clarion call. We need to wake up. I beg, we need to wake up. It shows the importance of how we fathers are when it comes to raising our children and how our failures in being a father can impact our kids. If to say, Monica Papa, if to say the guy get, courage and resolve, he would have put a foot down and he would have told his wife, enough. He would have told his wife, no. If to say he be man, he would have taken the step that, look, any which way, by hook or by force, all my children will go to school. Instead, it looks as if the father was there and, maybe once in a while he would tell his wife, my dear, this is not fair. But the thing is, when Monica goes and breaks her back and then she brings money, the father will now collect and say, my daughter, thank you, you do well. Which one is my daughter, thank you, you do well? You're a man, for God's sake. You will now stay at home. Then it's the children that will be bringing something for you. Meanwhile, it's not as if you be invalid. You now say, my daughter, you try. So yes, of course, children were supposed to help out our parents. But when you reach the stage that as a father, you can't say anything. The best you can say is, oh, your mother, this, God to protect, God this, God. No. Any man when they watch Monica part 1 and part 2, I beg, you should look at that father figure and, man, we should show that we should be, I say, God, never allow me to be in that kind of position, please. He was an ineffectual father, and we should not be ineffective in any way. So, men that are watching Monica part 1 and part 2, men, I beg, let's be on our guard. Let's be on our guard. We're important in our children's lives. We're very, very important. If we mess up for these our children, if we mess up, we don't protect our children, we don't take care of our children, the consequences can be high. Anyway, Monica loved her dad. She never quite saw that her dad was part of the problem. But honestly, the dad was the problem. So the wickedness was from Momsy, but lack of leadership from Popsy. No. Anyway, just like with the other 2 movies I've explored, there are some business and entrepreneurial themes that came up in this movie, Monica part 1 and part 2. And so far, you guys be following me. So far, it looks as if my thesis is correct. I've said that anyhow, there's no how you have Nigerian film that you will not see any entrepreneurial something, no business something. So far, it's looking like that's the case. There always is a, career, business, entrepreneurship, something that they choke inside. Maybe it's because Nigerians are go-getters. So there's some wonderful themes there that I think we can explore. So there's this whole theme of skill mastery. Yeah, skill mastery. Because it's one thing I tell my clients, because remember, I'm a sales coach, business development consultant. So it's one thing I tell my clients that, look, subject matter expertise is the beginning of selling well. When you know your stuff, when you are the professional, you can sell well, you can talk with confidence because you are the guy or you're the very babe. So that's one thing that worked in Monica's favor. Skill mastery. So because she no go school, she go learn work. And it turns out she's a good tailor and she has attention to detail. That's the thing that caused her first Madame Auntie Divine to trust her. Then later on, her and Auntie Divine were like business partners. When Auntie Divine go Canada, Auntie Divine give her the shop. So that's how she started her own small business. But it started with skill mastery. Monica, she go learn work. And she's good at her work. She's diligent. That's the beginning of learning how to sell well. So, like in her own case, she's a correct tailor. When she's a correct tailor, because there's one part where she was measuring one of her customers, so we'll go do them like this. She say, Shaby, you go fine. She said, don't worry now. Now me tell you, the thing go fine. When you're a subject matter expert, you can say that kind of thing. That don't be me they tell you. Like, relax. I got you. You're sorted. Skill mastery. And I'm glad that they took that part inside the film. So that we can see that for those of us where they do business, we they self-employed, we they do hustle, skill mastery. Excuse me. Then personal development. Monica took personal development very seriously. So from Auntie Divine, she did learn one or two things. Auntie Divine had the struggle, how go do am, how go do am. Then later on, after Auntie Divine left and went to Canada, uh, she Monica went to is it Lagos Island to go and be learning work under another woman to develop her skill. So Monica they suffer, she they suffer, but she realized that almost there's a way forward. I can't be staying in Egypt forever. I have to get to the promised land. So she started to develop herself. She go and started just as she learned work under Auntie Divine, she began to learn work under another woman. Personal development, skill acquisition. You guys learn some skills. So it's from trying to learn work now under this other madam in Lagos Island that they're able to hook her up for that scholarship in Paris. And then from there, she now arrive at the promised land. Open doors, open heavens. Blessings begin to fall. But that was because Monica, she said, I can't be like this forever. I don't master this level. What else can I learn? Okay, there's somebody on Lagos Island that can teach me. No problem. Madam, I am here. Teach me. Then there was also some financial things in the movie that I hope those of you who run businesses, I hope you catch. So Monica needed uh capital to buy equipment, her own showing machine and things like that. So the first 500k she got it from Pascal, that's her ex-boyfriend. But then Monica mama she collect the money, so that's how that 500k just go. But eventually from doing work she was able to raise money to get her own sewing machine, things like that. And it's not as if Monica was doing too badly. It's just that her family were a huge drain. Because that her brother Bobo, he will come and say, Auntie Monica, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Then Monica will give her 100k. Oh, Auntie Monica, Sister Monica, blah, blah, blah. Monica will give her 600k, 500k, 200k, like that, like that, like that. That's how money just they miss. Now in business, we call that capital flight. It means business is moving. Money they come, but the money just they fly. Capital flights as they come, just they go, just they go, just they go. So it's one thing that I tell people. In fact, I make this mistake myself: commingling of funds. So business money will come in, but then there's family problem. You now use business money to solve family problem. If you continue to do that, you will not be able to grow. So for somebody in Monica's situation with all that capital flight, and that's why her friend says she must break free. If you don't break free at that kind of thing, how will you grow? You get some small coins, and then your family comes 100k, 500k, 600k, 200k, 300. That's money that is moving, man. You can't build anything like that. So for those of us where they self-employed, like we need to be careful. We need to watch ourselves, so we don't end up like Monica. Then also like this whole thing of mentorship, especially on a woman level, when women mentor each other, it's a beautiful thing. So please, for those of you women who are listening, help out. It's something that I've seen my wife do, it's something I've seen my mom do, and it's something I believe more women should do. You're in the office, you see one or two young girls, it looks like they are sharp. You bring them under your wing, you teach them one or two things. It's not as if you gain anything from it, because like for my wife, for instance, I've seen how like the girls, okay, like there's one of them who is now in a career in finance, because my wife and I, we both studied law. My wife is still a practicing lawyer. So for one of the girls was a big thing like, oh, madam, you're a lawyer, but you're doing finance. Excuse me, but you're doing finance. So it was an eye-opening thing for her, and then that's how she launched her career in finance. So every single time she comes back into the country, she goes catch up with my wife. They talk, stuff like that. It's rewarding. It's not as if money is coming from it, but it's rewarding. You're building somebody and you're watching their life just move, 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 and it's a good thing. And I've seen my mom do the same thing too. So Auntie Divine, the friendship that Monica had with Auntie Divine, pivotal. A mentor, somebody that will say, Monica, you are good at this. Continue to do this. Monica, you are this, that. Continue to do it. Do it like this. Do it like this. Do it like that. That mentorship, man, very key relationship for Monica. Then later on, the second madam that Monica was learning from on Lagos Island, who helped her find her voice as an artist. So mentorship, very, very important. So, well, whether for men or for women is important. It's just that for men, when we're not as shy about these things, like if you like Dangote and you consider Dangote a mentor, the thing to do as a man is, shy, you just start hanging out around Dangote, just like that. No questions asked. By hook or by fire, you will do it. But women are a little bit more shy when it comes to these things. So for those of you who are in a higher position, you don't have to arrive. Just even if, like, take for instance my wife. It's not as if we're Khashoggis. It's not like we're big people. It's just that as a senior lawyer who is involved in finance, this is a junior lawyer. She could have a career in finance. Young lady, have you thought about a career in finance? That's all. Then another business part that I like was the whole thing about scaling business growth. So from one shop, especially when she comes back from Paris, from a local government girl, now become a national thing. And then the movie ends with her getting ready to ship some things abroad, ship some things international. I got the impression it was kind of international, although they didn't say which country. So that was good. I like to see that business growth. So those are some of the business themes that I like in the movie. And then, of course, for those of you who've been listening since I started the podcast, you won't be surprised. I'm Catholic, so of course a Catholic perspective as well. So from the Catholic faith, there's this thing of redemptive suffering. Christ's love for others, and so because of that, Christ gave his life. So yeah, definitely there was some of that going on, and because of that, we should commend Monica that she was willing to. The way she said is that she was trying to be a light so that other people can see where they are going. But I like how Monica said that, look, because I'm trying to be a light for all of you to see, does not mean that I will pour petrol on myself and then set myself on fire so that people will see where you are going. That's the scope, the key thing there. So redemptive suffering, Christ suffer for others, good. We will suffer for others. But as my mom likes to say, no be me key Jesus. That's what my mom says. So yeah, I'll suffer for you, but it gets to a point like, like, come on. It's getting ridiculous now. So sacrifice is good. And from the perspective of the Catholic Church, we teach that sacrifice is good. We say that sacrifice is meritorious. It means that as you do sacrifice, God likes it. He's looking upon you. The Catholic Church teaches that sacrifice is virtuous. Virtue just means the habits that you have that continue to push you towards God and push you towards good. So sacrifice is good. It's pushing you towards God. It's pushing you towards good. So, excuse me. But the Catholic Church also teaches that sacrifice has to be rooted in love, number one. What Monica was going through, is that love? Okay, well, she lost her family. Does her family love her back? It has to be rooted in love and has to be rooted in the dignity of the human person. If it is not rooted in love and the dignity of the human person, what you end up with is exploitation. Monica was being exploited. But sure, if we can do redemptive suffering, it's not a bad idea. Then this whole thing of divine providence. Every single Nigeria movie has this whole thing of God will do it, God will do it. So throughout the whole film, it was always God will do it, God will do it, Any small thing, Monica go cry to God. Or if she make any breakthrough, she will cry, praise the Lord, So that whole thing of God will do it, God will do it. And so I like that in the movie, they were teasing out this whole thing of God will do it, God will do it. Does it mean I should stay where I am? God will now come and elevate me. Am I the one that will take control? So I like that they told that line. I think they told it quite well. God will do it, God will do it. But what is Monica doing to help her own situation? Sorry about that. So, yeah, divine providence. Anyway, you watch it and you let me know what you think. Is it God that did it? Or is it Monica that helped herself? Then there's this whole thing about forgiveness. Eventually, Monica falls in love with Nato. The guy's name is Nato. In the movie, the guy's name is Nato. I've not seen the guy before. I've not seen him before, but the guy looks like Tyrese. He looks like Tyrese Gibson in the. Is it Gibson? Tyrese, what's his name? A bit Ty. Yeah, Tyrese. No, I can't remember. Anyway, Fast and Furious movies with these movies about cars and all that. Yeah, Fast and Furious. So the black guy in it, Tyrese. So the guy looks like Tyrese. At some point, I was even wondering, no be Tyrese be this inside Nollywood film. But then as I was watching, I said, no, Tyrese head is different. Tyrese is not this tall. Tyrese is not this big. Anyway, so her boyfriend, at some point, before they got married, told her that, look, you guys to forgive your family. And you forgiving your family is not because of them, it's because of you. You have to save your soul, save yourself. And I like that part of the movie. And for me, because like my father is late, and no, it's not anything related to all this kind of rubbish dynamic that is going on here. But me and my popsy, we had our own issues, and I remember because my younger brother, his kids are much older than mine. So I remember when my younger brother, when he had, I think it was after he had the second born, at some point was a conversation he had. Say, look, you know what, this little pops, we have to let this thing go. He said because if we don't let this thing go, I'm afraid it's going to affect how it is we parent our own children. So at some point, yeah, we get to the point where, yeah, forgiveness, it's not about the other person, it's about you. You just got to let some stuff go. After all, you're not responsible for other people, but you have to take care of yourself. But it's one thing that people get twisted. Some people think forgiveness means we should reconcile. And I'm glad that that's one thing that the Catholic Church is very clear about. Forgiveness is not the same thing as reconciliation. Forgiveness just means something wrong has happened and I have a claim of justice. So, in Monica's case, my parents, you're supposed to have provided for me, you didn't provide for me. You're supposed to have taken care of me, but you exploited on me. You exploited me. So therefore, I have a call of justice upon your heads. I can cry to God and say, Father Lord, punish these bastards. Or I can go to court. Okay, well, it's not as if you can go to court. But you have justice that is owed you. So forgiveness just means you're letting go of the claim of justice. So, Popsy, you didn't defend me. I free am. Momsy, you are a wish towards me. I free am. My siblings, if people were rude and disrespectful, if people were treating me like a community bank, no problem. I free am. That's forgiveness. Reconciliation is taking things a step further. Reconciliation does not happen unless there is safety. If the wrong party does not feel safe, we can't be talking reconciliation. Reconciliation requires respect. You don't respect me. What am I reconciling? Reconciliation involves mutual regard. Me, I'm regarding you, but you're not regarding me. So you say I should forgive. It means I should not be shining teeth with you. Like how? No. I will forgive you. I will let go of my calls for justice, my call for justice. So I won't go on my knees and then call down fire and brimstone on top of your head. And I'll let it go. I'll let go and I'll let God. But if the condition no safe, if condition no pure, you won't see me around you. You won't. Speaking of my dad, remember when my dad had told one of my younger cousins, because there was some stuff going on at the time, and my father called my younger cousin and said, look, you know what? It's unfortunate that things has reached like this, but are you going to stay here until they pour hot water on your head? It's unfortunate, but at this point, I think it's time for you to begin the take dressing small small. If the atmosphere is not safe, the atmosphere is not safe. So forgiveness, no problem. But forgiveness doesn't mean we are friends, doesn't mean we're chummy, doesn't mean we reconcile, doesn't mean I'll come and eat in your house, sleep in your house, doesn't mean I'll come and drop my kids off at your place, things like that. So let's not get it twisted, because a lot of times when people say forgive and forget, They assume that the church is saying reconcile with this person. No. So, like for those of you who have suffered sexual abuse, for instance, okay, I free it, I leave it to God. No problem, that's forgiveness. It does not mean you now carry your children and drop in a house. For what? So, important theme there. But then, in my own opinion, did Monica really forgive? Like I say, it's tough to ask that kind of thing for somebody. She didn't leave the house until she was 37, 36. I'll be 37. So 37 years. It's not overnight. But I really don't think the movie ended with Monica forgiving. She invited the family for her wedding. But come and attend my wedding. Come and chop rice. It's not the same thing as forgiveness. But I think these are important themes that the movie teases out. And I think that these are good reasons why we should watch the movie. Okay, so almost an hour. Let me bring it to a close. All right, so are there any good reasons to watch this movie? Definitely. If you're like me and you've only been seeing Uche Montana, flaunting big yash and yellow skin, seducing pastors, seducing married men, doing this, blah, 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 blah. If that is all you've seen Uche Montana do before, then definitely you should watch this movie because you're going to see her in a different role and you will see her in a different light. And as far as I'm concerned, Uche Montana, you can act. The BBL that you did was not necessary to advance your career. With what I have seen right now in Monica Part 1 and Part 2, you are a capable actress. And you don't need the makeup, you don't need the skin, you don't need the BBL, you don't need all these other trappings that you carry on about. Because you got skills. And anybody that watches Monica Part 1 and Part 2 and does not acknowledge that Uche Montana, sorry, I keep calling her Monica, that Uche Montana, if you watch it and you don't acknowledge that Uche Montana has skills, you are being somehow. She can act. Another reason to watch is The Wicked Mother. The Wicked Mother was very, very wicked. That was some impressive acting. Some very, very impressive acting. You act so that, like, when people see you, they see evil. That was impressive. The only problem with the movie, apart from some of the things I've mentioned, in my own opinion, is, it's two parts. Monica Part 1, Part 2. Each part was 2 hours. That means if you're going to watch these things, you will invest 4 hours of your life. Part 1, 2 hours. Part 2, 2 hours. So I was wondering at some point, this movie is moving, is deep, is everything, but couldn't this story have been told in one movie of 2 hours? Did it have to be 2 parts and 4 hours? But anyway, we all have different tastes, so I'll leave that one up to you. So that's all for today. Remember, if you'd love to connect with me, you can call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you all at the next review.